Hey YouTube, today I have another Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for you, and today I'm going to be showing off my Virtual World deck. I decided to upgrade this deck because it just got reprinted in the Megatins, and now the cards are quite affordable. They were beforehand, but you know, now they're even more so, and they're more shiny, which is always a plus. So I thought I'd show off what I have for you. So getting right into it, the ratios for my monsters, I'm running 3 Lulu, of course, 3 Lao Lao, 2 Nian Nian, just the 2 I think is fine. Then we're running 3 Gigi, 3 Lily, and then the 1 Tutu. And so that's all the Virtual World monsters I'm playing. And I'm deciding to run the Tutu because actually there's a good interaction with an extra deck monster that I will get into in a bit. Once we get to the extra deck, but also I think, you know, just one of it's nice. It has, you know, some ability to recur itself. You know, it's another normal summon. You only have 3 normal summons in the deck essentially, so I don't think it's a big deal to play the Tutu, but you know, if it is definitely cuttable though. Cutting it is definitely fine, but I like playing it in my version. I think it's definitely a good one. And then for hand traps, we have the 3 Gamma and the 1 Driver. We want to be able to protect our plays going first, especially if we draw this and we have like a Kowloon and a Lulu, excuse me, all the names are so confusing, a Lulu. That's something that our opponent's definitely going to want to try and Ash, so we can bait out that Ash and protect it with the Gamma. And we won't end up using the Gamma because of the weird levels, but we can use the Driver because it's a level 6, and we can use that to use other stuff later on. So I think it's definitely a good choice to play in the main deck. Play 3 Ash. Ash is just always a good hand trap. And we've also main deck 3 Nib. I'm main decking the Nib because of a couple, well, actually a specific extra deck card that's actually right here, but I'll get into that in a bit. But I think it's just a really good card to just have a lot of high impacts on the game, and it's something that definitely, if I draw it and I say brick on cards that I don't really want to see and I don't really have my engine going, having a Nib can be a big turn ender. So Nib's always a good card to have, and I think just for this format, it works in the main deck. Not always, but currently I think it's okay to play in the main. Now we have the spells. So we have 3 of the Kowloon. How do I... The Kowloon? Yeah, I think I was pronouncing that right. But anyway, yeah, 3 of that. 3 of the King Long. The Queen Long. Yeah, just mandatory. No reason not to play 3 of each. Yeah, not really a lot to say about that. Just really good cards. I am playing 3 Pot of Desires. You do, you know, you do run into issues with bricking in this deck occasionally, so just having cards to kind of dig through your deck and get a couple more draws to see if you can get your engine going, I think is very, very important. And, you know, sometimes you can Pot of Desires into another pot, which can be kind of annoying, but then again, you can also just set it for your Sulkin play. So I think still 3 is still pretty good. And also we're playing 2 Tactics. I got this because it was reprinted and the price of it came down a hell of a bunch. So I think I thought, what the hell, you know, just go for it. And I think playing it at 2, again, I don't want to brick on it. It can be good going first or second. It's such a good card. You can draw 2, you can take your opponent's monsters, or you can rip a card out of your opponent's hand. So if they Ash something and you're going first and you need more combo pieces, you can look for those, you know, more combo pieces by drawing. If they Ash you and you still have a decent combo, you know, I'd probably prefer to look at my opponent's hand and get something impactful out of their hand. Just a really good card. It's still about like 40 bucks here in the US, so it's still kind of expensive, but at least it's not 100 anymore. And we play 1 Called By just to help, you know, plays go through. Always a nice one-up to have in the deck. It's a bit sacky, but, you know, still important. Then we have, I think, standard 2 of the Chuche and then 1 of the Zhonglu. Yeah, not a lot to say about this. I'd like to play 3 Chuche because I don't want to get rid of all of them. It's a very important card for the deck, but I think you can get away with playing at 2. I think playing at 2 is fine, and I think most people play at 2 anyway, so I think that's fine. Zhongmu, again, just 1 of to help reborn cards from the grave. Yeah, not a lot to say there, just some good cards to play, and I think decent ratios. So now my extra deck is a little different to what people usually play. A lot of similar cards, but a couple of differences. So first, it's the Geomathmech Final Sigma. This, if you don't know what this is, it's basically a towers. If you summon it in the extra monster zone, it's unaffected by all of the card effects, except Mathmech cards, but your opponent's not going to be playing Mathmech. You don't really have to worry about that. So 3k attack, unaffected in the extra monster zone. It's a level 12 that just needs 1. It's generic, 1 tuner, 1+ non-tuner. So whatever you want to make it, you can make it. I think it's really good because also this is why you can summon this and then use Nib to protect this. So usually they'll have to summon a bunch of monsters to get out a monster with a high enough attack to be over this. But if they use 5 summons, you can always drop the Nib on them, and this won't go anywhere because it's unaffected. So I think it's a really good choice. Definitely, you know, it's for, you know, people's choice. You know, it won't fit everyone's play style, but I think it's a good card to run. Then we play the 1 Sulkin. You know, I think this is just standard. Helps you make your board Nibiru proof, or just put up a monster negate, which is fine. Onto the rank 9s, I do start with the 1 Hot Red. You can actually make this in this deck, which a lot of people I feel don't really know about. And you can make this, basically the reason I make this is if my, what's it called, my Muddy Mud Dragon gets impermed or veilered or whatever, I can use the Muddy Mud Dragon and another level 3 tuner to go into this, because Muddy Mud Dragon is a Dark Dragon synchro, so it's just a good option if we get hand trapped, so we can still end on something. Play 1 Shen Shen. It's, you know, it's Shen Shen. It's it's just really good. Floodgates are always pretty strong in Yu-Gi-Oh! And to be fair, this isn't the strongest of Floodgates, but it is still pretty decent, and it's makes your opponent have to think a bit more, and they certainly do misplay when this is on the field, so definitely keep that in mind. 1 of the Vermilion, yep, just breaking boards really easily with this, you know, just a good level 9 to go into. Then we have the Crystal Wing, which is obviously what we summon off the Zulkin. And not a lot to say about that, just a really good card. Level 6s, we have 1 Coral Dragon, which is also a pop when you summon it. Well, not when you summon it, but you can discard 1 to destroy a card. And also, if you use it as a, I think it's a synchro material, right? Or no, just if it's sent to the from the field to the grave, then you can draw a card. So it helps you keep your resources going. And again, another level 6 to help you draw. We're going with the Stardust Charge Warrior. Just another standard good option. One of the, I still don't know how to pronounce this, the Jiu or something. I think that's how you pronounce it. Level 6, again, just help breaking boards, and it has some protection. It's just a good card. I was thinking about cutting it, but I think it's just too good to cut. And then we have the 1 Muddy Mud Dragon. This is to go into our fusion play, to fusion someone with Ultimate Sulkin. And like I said, if that gets like impermed or something, we can go with the synchro play into Hot Red. And so yeah, that is it for the synchros. Onto the XEs, we play the one Zeus. Again, this just got reprinted, so it's now like, what, I think it's $11 or $12, something like that. Really good card, really strong meta card, and so you can make it easily in this deck, so there's no reason why you wouldn't. I do play the Gaia Charger because I do like making 4 material Zeuses. 2 board wipes is just really, really strong. And so you can just overlay this onto any rank 5 or 6, which is really good, really strong. Play the one Fan. So this is one of the reasons why we play 2/2, is because if this card is destroyed, if your opponent gets rid of this card, if it's destroyed, you can... Here, I'll just read what it says. You can special summon 2 virtual world monsters with the same type and attribute as each other from your deck. Now, normally, but without 2/2, you could only do, I think it's Lulu and Yen. There's no 2 rank 6 that are both the same type and attribute. But if you play 2/2, I think it's Lily that you can summon it with, and so you can use this, summon this, use its effect to destroy something. They'll probably have to bait out some form of negate, like Dragoon or a Strike or something, destroy this, and then you can just summon those 2 level 6s, and you can go into like another rank 6 play, which is M7, and you can either just go from there, rank up into Gaia, and then into Zeus for a 4 material Zeus, or just use M7 to interrupt some more to keep putting back cards. So I think it's a really good kind of interaction that I like to mess around with. No, I'm not playing any rank 3s in the deck because I just never seem to end up making them. Like I might put back in the Bamboozling Gossip Shadow or whatever it's called, but for the moment I just don't think you really need it. And the one Kaliga, this Floodgate is just really good because if you put it up with your Synchro, or what's it called, Crystal Wing, then this says each player can only attempt to activate 1 monster effect each turn. So if your opponent attempts to activate a monster effect, you can just negate it with the Crystal Wing, and then they can't use any other monster effects. Because it says attempts to activate, so it doesn't matter whether it's negated or not, it's attempted to activate. So it's just really, really strong, and people have a hard time outing it, especially decks like Drytron, where they need those, multiple monster effects to summon cards to the board. And it has an 1800 defense, so it's not the biggest, but that's still pretty decent enough to make your opponent need to, get something big onto the field only using 1 monster effect. That can be very difficult. So very strong card indeed. So that's it. That's what I have for you today for my Virtual World deck. I might end up doing a test hand deck or how to play the deck video if I'm interested in it. I also have a Cyber Dark profile in the works that I want to bring to YouTube as soon as possible, which I think is really cool. And it's a really cool deck, and I really want to show that off. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Peace.